and they start playing a video. They're playing a video of Kenny Mack, C Murder, and Muwop running up the stairs. And they have timestamps for everything. So they literally went through and they had him, and they would stop, have him identify the person. Next scene, watch a little bit more, stop. Who's this?
Show your face. Show your face, please, with sugar on top.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, please make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. We're able to be a little more explicit, a little more uncensored, and share content freely without running the risk of having our channel terminated. So, once again, make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers. So if you like this video, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. Now let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, first and foremost, shout out to Drea. Definitely one of the driving forces when it comes to the drill culture and the work that she puts in. Aside from her interviewing a wide variety of celebrities and guys on the come up, most have recently known her for being the one that got FBG Cash's last interview shortly before he passed away. Now we know that FBG Doug's trial involving the OBlock members have been underway, where it's open to the public and anybody could go in and witness what's going on in the courtroom. Yes, there's been a lot of people that say they went, but I'd rather go off of someone I find is more credible and who has been in the culture for some time, rather than someone just speaking on the situation for quick views or don't have much credibility as far as their words. Drea will make her way down to the courtroom last week to give us a recap on what's going on within the whole case. And the day pretty much Trench's News took the stand for the first time with his mask off, and she informed us what Trench's testified when he was asked by prosecutors who was within the OBlock members. Now, I see some questions amongst people and some are confused as to what Trench's was testifying about and what his job was as a cooperator. While it may seem low level to some of you if you are unaware of what the feds are doing, but Trench's is identifying members right now that law enforcement has surveillance footage of for the sake to prove that these are the exact members, which they would later also prove that those same members was at the scene of the crime. But before they unveil certain things, they must go through a process. Before people try to say that Muwop couldn't be identified in the surveillance footage, I don't know where that theory came from. However, with Trench's News pointing out individuals and naming names, that's all they need, and at this point, it'll be up to the jury to make their own decisions. Now, I want to play a small clip of Drea explaining what Trench's News was doing on the stand as he testified against these OBlock members. I'll leave a link to her full video pinned in the comments so you guys can check out the rest of what she had to say, and stay tuned because she's going to the courtroom personally to get firsthand information. But check this video out.
And they start playing a video. They're playing a video of Kenny Mack, C Murder, and Muwop running up the stairs. And they have timestamps for everything. So they literally went through and they had him, and they would stop, have him identify the person. Next scene, watch a little bit more, stop. Who's this? First person running up the stairs. They freeze frame it and they say, who is this? And Trench's News, aka Marcel Wiley, takes a yellow marker and circles the person and says, that's Kenny Mack. And then next person runs up the stairs, they freeze frame it. They say, who is that? And he says, that's C Murder. He circles it with a yellow marker. The next person running up the stairs, they say, who's that? He says, that's Muwop. He's naming them. He's naming them by their names. So there's no way that there's any confusion about who it was and who we're looking at. So they jump to the video of them driving back. And then at the screen, they stop it at 4:56 p.m. They got them in Parkway Gardens, right? So a lot of people don't know this. When they were coming back, a cop car actually pulled up behind them. He didn't like pull them out the car and question them about anything that had to do with FBG Duck. After they came back, so allegedly, from what happened, they got pulled over slightly by a police officer. So they turned into OBlock. They're in Parkway Gardens, and then they stop the video and they have Trenches News identifying them there too. And they're going through each person like, so who is this?
So once again, this is the prosecutor's way of proving that these were the guys that were there at the time of when the crime took place. He's naming these guys by names, and keep in mind, like I stated in the last video we did covering this, the police have timestamps. So that's going to be their way of proving to the jury that these guys were in fact present on the crime scene around the time everything happened. They're going to be going based off the time that they left OBlock, the time it took them to do everything, and lined it up with the time that they took to come back to OBlock. But once again, before they go further, they have to make sure the jury believes that these are the individuals who were involved. And after that's down packed, they'll roll out all the other evidence that they have against these guys. Now, real quick, there's a part in the video, Drea is explaining how Trenches looked with his mask off. And she don't want to say the obvious, so she says, quote, "He looks like how you would expect him to look underneath the mask." Right? Now, I'm not going to draw any assumptions on what she means, but y'all can take that for what it's worth and come to your own conclusion. But on a serious note, man, Trenches News is being cross-examined today, and usually more information comes out a little later on, unless you was in the courtroom to get firsthand or you witnessed what's going on. Shout out to Mickey Truth as well, because she's been covering this and mentioned a bunch of points about past crimes that Trenches was allegedly involved in that I don't hear other people speaking on. One of them happened to be about a high-ranking gang leader by the name of Bowleg, in the war that started in 2006, which is way earlier than the 2010 and 2011 drill wave that everyone else often refers to. And another thing I would like to acknowledge, because aside from the bashing that Trenches is getting from pretty much everybody on social media for cooperating, you do have some that feel he shouldn't be bashed for what he's doing. And in fact, he should be praised for what he's doing because he's, quote, holding these guys accountable for their crimes and taking killers off the street so they wouldn't have the opportunity to do what they did before again, right? Now, interesting enough that this can go both ways, but here's how I feel about it, and y'all can let me know what y'all think about it in the comments afterwards. It's one thing to cooperate and be a civilian, but it's another thing to portray an image or commit crimes and then tell on others doing the same crimes that you were doing for whatever reason. The crazy part about it is, I want to know how Trenches became a government informant, because I missed it. Maybe it was told and I didn't see it, I don't know. But we've been told that he was a government informant for decades. But what was the event that led him to becoming a government informant? Did he get caught for a certain crime and he wanted to avoid jail time, so he agreed to cooperate? Or did he volunteer himself for the cash aspect of it, just like he did for the Duck case? Right? What made him become a government informant? Now, back to what I was saying before, if he was a civilian and a regular person that cooperated, then that's a different story. But there's no way y'all could be comfortable with a man that sat there and done told y'all all the crimes he was a part of. He naming everybody else's crimes, claimed to be the biggest in every other story he told, biggest gangster, whatever. Claim he was really like that, but then cooperated. Or to find out that a long time ago he's been cooperating. See, that's another thing. Everybody keeps thinking about the MUWAP. Everybody talking about OBlock, but forget that aspect. What about the old stories that he was telling about? What about the situations that occurred before the OBlock situation that he had knowledge of and probably told police? You know, the next question is, if he told on the BDs, what did he say about the GDs? I'm sure law enforcement was inquiring about them as well. Or maybe they wasn't, but that's the thing. We will never know. Right? But what else did he tell police? What else they know because of him? They're not just paying anybody $25,000 for no reason. You had to give them information that they can use that's credible in order for them to be willing to pay you, because if they feel you don't know nothing, they're not going to pay you. Or if they feel that whatever you tell them is bullcrap, they're not going to pay you. Simple. Right? But maybe it's just me taking it more personal because I was on the opposite end before of having a close friend threaten to cooperate on me. So maybe I take it personal for that reason, because I know the feeling it felt when you see someone who willingly commits crimes with you, but when it's time to face the heat, they want to fold. That's a coward way of moving. And if you don't find that weird, there's something wrong with you. I don't care what nobody say. Right? But that's why I say the streets ain't it. It's a million ways to get money these days. I'd rather do that because there's no morals, no values, and no principles. Nobody cherish anything in the streets anymore. Friends flipping on friends, it make no sense. So, like I said, he's expected to be examined today, cross-examined today. I'm pretty sure news is going to come out later about what happened. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this, man. Jump in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. I'm out.